What's going on, guys? I'm excited to jump right into this topic today. We're going to be talking about the newest Pokemon feature debut game, Pokemon Pocket. So Pokemon Pocket is set to release at some point in 2024. We've seen leaked cards that are specifically only going to be available in the game, as well as maybe some cards that might be available in future sets in the physical TCG. And I think there's a lot to go over with this this new game, this new mechanic being added of everything being digital in the TCG. I think it's a little bit scary for both sellers and longtime collectors of the physical TCG. I think a lot of people that are collecting cards might not find this app the most appealing because they want to actually feel the physical product. You know, you want to play with the actual deck of cards, what have you. But I think a lot of people at the same time are going to want to be able to play this on their phones and have it handy at all times. And I think what's more is that they've dumbed down the mechanics for the gameplay. And I personally think that that's a really, really smart move. Some people are comparing it to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which was a dumbed down version of that game, and pointing out that some of the more dumbed down bulk cards would actually be great in the gameplay for a more simplified game. So I think that's pretty cool. One thing that I really like is the free packs that they throw in. It's supposed to be, I think, 2 free packs a week. That's a lot. That could get very addicting very quickly. I think people can't really afford to go out and buy packs the way that they would want to, or could want to. But I think with this new gameplay with Pokemon Pocket, it'll allow people to, you know, it's a very, like when they showed it in the video, the guy swiping on his phone and opening up the pack, it was very pleasing. I'm not gonna lie, it was very pleasing. I will definitely be downloading Pokemon Pocket. I'll definitely be adding it to my phone. I'm definitely interested to play. I'm definitely interested to see people around me and see if there's people nearby. Like I'm just interested to see how this whole thing works. And it really doesn't bother me all that much. One thing that is unfortunate is, what does this mean for the physical gameplay? What does this mean for the physical TCG? What does this mean for collecting master sets and binders? Are we moving into a point, like, is Pokemon seeing into the future, or are they also trying to solve a problem of exclusivity, right? Because only so many people can afford to buy the products, can afford to try and keep up with the game, can afford to buy expensive alternate arts or these hyper cards or, vintage grail cards that I like. You know, it makes me wonder, there's already vintage cards going all the way back to base set, which I did not know. I just looked into this just now, but I did not realize that there were going to be cards going all the way back to base set. Which makes sense. Why not capitalize on all of the greats instead of just sticking with the modern TCG that's up to date? Why not go all the way back to base set style cards, Neo set style cards? I believe there's a Neo Destiny, Hitmonlee, and a base set Slowpoke tease. Now the stats will be completely different. Obviously, this is going to be a modern gameplay. Everything is going to be dumbed down, but definitely makes you wonder if they're going to have vintage style cards like Slowpoke back to base set or Fossil. What does this mean? What does this mean, like Fossil, Jungle Rocket? What does this Neo? What does this mean for collectors of the hobby? If people are getting the digital cards and enjoying the digital cards, liking having everything on their phone, maybe they'll make some kind of mechanic to trade these cards. What would be even weirder is if you were able to sell cards in the Pocket application. Now, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that this is really going to be just a net win for everybody, myself included. I don't fear it as something that's going to phase out traditional card sellers or traditional card collectors. I just don't. I don't think that traditional collecting is ever really going to go away, and I don't think the traditional gameplay, the competitive gameplay, I just don't think that's going anywhere. It's been a tradition for way too long. I don't think that's going anywhere. What I will say is that I think that regionals eventually is going to have Pokemon Pocket featured in its own kind of league, a more simplified league. And I personally think that's going to be perfect for me. You know, I've got this deck that I'm building out here, and realizing that when am I ever really going to play with somebody? When am I going to go to a local tournament? When am I going to leave my family for the day to go play cards? But if we're sitting on the couch and we're watching Blippi on YouTube, and Aspen's kind of in her own world, and Diana's doing stuff on her computer, then okay, maybe I could pop into Pokemon Pocket for 5-10 minutes and kind of get lost in the TCG and play and have some quick fun, and then boom, I'm done with it. No attachment, no getting deep down the rabbit hole. You know, I like the idea of something that's simple, that allows me to not get so sucked in the way that the TCG has kind of pulled me in. I like the idea of this simplified gameplay and the simplified mechanics. I guess they're not going to have retreat cost, no weakness. There was a Brock trainer card featured, so I do think they're going to have trainer cards as just simple trainer cards, stuff like draw 2 cards. I'm sure they're going to have switch, like OG trainer cards that they've had since the inception of the game. I think they're still going to have a lot of those. But yeah, we just don't know yet. In terms of the artistic, the creative approach to the cards and how they look, absolutely phenomenal. Like, who are we kidding ourselves here? The Charizard EX we haven't even seen in the TCG, but it was featured in the Pocket debut. That Charizard EX and the Moltres looked absolutely stunning. And then there are cards that will never be a part of the traditional TCG, which really makes you wonder, like, is this going to create a massive shift from the modern TCG into just everybody buying stuff in Pocket? Easier to store, no storage issues, no mess, no trash from all the pack openings. One of the biggest things to me, guys, I don't even know how I can get this out, but I have trash bags, well, GameStop bags, full of all the old packs. They're just going everywhere. There is so much waste. There's so much waste in this hobby. It's honestly, it's sad. It's depressing. Like, it's so much trash from all that product, from all the stuff that we open up traditionally. And here we have this app. Fix this. Here we have this app that now allows us to guilt-free open all these packs. We don't make a mess. You don't need to throw stuff out. I keep all of my empty packs because I feel like there's still some weird intrinsic value to having these empty packs. I'm probably one of those weird people that just likes to have the old pack art still. But and that's mainly because I've seen how valuable vintage pack arts have become, that now I'm just like, I'm gonna just keep all the modern pack arts. I'll just shove them somewhere in my garage eventually. But I will say there's a ton of trash, and there's plenty of products that I don't care about the pack arts, like the heavy hitters boxes that I've been opening. Tons of trash, tons of plastic. The boxes are huge, they're bulky. Same thing with kind of ETBs and UPC boxes. They make great displays, but once you open a good bit of product, like I have behind me, well, in front of me, on the wall in front of me that you guys can't see, there's mounds of boxes that I just have there for like decoration for now, but it's really disturbing, like how much mass gets taken up, how much space gets taken up, the storage aspect of it. So I think that that's really cool. And then the way the cards look in a 360 view, they're absolutely stunning. They're really beautiful, seeing that through Pocket. And then one of the most incredible features that it has, which the physical TCG is never going to have this, no matter what they do. They're just not. Maybe they could create it somehow, create an effect somehow, but no, they just can't create it. The immersive feature where you can actually kind of zoom into a card's background and go into the world that card is kind of set in, the environment that's set in. They feature a Pikachu card, which looks stunning, and it shows all this background in great detail. It looks really, really cool. That's probably going to be collectors' favorite things about that. So not only can you play with people on the fly, you can collect, You get free packs. You can buy free packs. It's going to be a free to join app, but of course, there's always going to be the gimmick of like, you can buy skins or you can buy certain, I don't know, certain pack mechanics when you open a pack. Maybe it does stars or something. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to add to this to try and milk it for more than what it is. But I think at the same time, they're looking ahead and they're seeing that to catch the wider audience, to get the largest market, I guess, to corner the largest part of the market with TCG, they have to go into virtual TCG. And they were already kind of doing this with live, but I think a lot of people have been very, very critical about live and saying that it's just not a great overall experience. And so this is Pokemon's answer to that, really stepping it up and blending people really developing and creating the game also with a new gameplay mechanic, style with this Pokemon Pocket. So I like the ease of use. I think it's pretty cool. The fact that there are some older cards featured in the Pocket debut is a little bit worrisome. I can't help but worry about the value of all of the physical TCG and what will happen if there's a massive shift into digital TCG. I wouldn't say that this is enough reason for people to, sell all their Pokemon cards and just, say, screw it. I'm just going to go into the digital TCG. This is where the hobby is moving. I think there's always going to be diehard collectors, right? Those of us who've gotten really, really deep down the rabbit hole of this hobby, I think we're here to stay. We're not going anywhere. But I don't see why there can't be the traditional collecting, the competitive playing, and the pocket collecting, the virtual collecting, being able to look into the arts of the cards. I think that's pretty cool. I personally wasn't the biggest fan of this when they debuted it. I was like, okay, but it's never going to be what they want. Digital is never going to be what they want. Humans till the end of time are going to want some kind of physical connection. I think that physical aspect is really, really important with trading cards, and the community and seeing people out. But I mean, look what they did with Pokemon Go. Look what they've done with the Switch. And when they're bringing that to regionals, people are battling over Switch. I think that there's a lot of good stuff that they're bringing to the table with Pokemon Pocket. And I'm definitely, I think, more excited after looking into it more about it. But I'm definitely interested to see what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is going to be a threat basically to the old school collecting ways, playing ways? Or do you guys think that there's always going to be competitive? This will just be a new layer. They're adding a new layer where, this is going to allow everybody to get in on Pokemon. Right now, anybody can be able to play. There was a barrier there before. I mean, you could play the live TCG, but from what I understand, it was not very smooth. It did not run very well, and people weren't really having a great time playing it. Although we have a lot of people, streamers, as well as Pokemon YouTubers, that are, playing the live and showing that it does work well and you can use it and have fun with it. I think the people that are really excited about this stuff are going to take full advantage of it. But I think Pokemon Pocket is going to be a huge improvement on the gameplay, the mechanics, the graphics, the aesthetics, and the involvement in it. Actually swiping and opening up packs and getting your cards and being able to zoom in on those cards, and then the immersive feature, being able to look, deeper into the artwork. And then the fact that there are cards that are, again, I can't stress this enough, that there are going to be cards that aren't in the traditional TCG. That means you're going to have to get them through Pocket to get them if you want them. Now, it's going to be interesting to me if people ever sell their Pocket accounts or trade through Pocket. I'm very interested how they go about that in the future. Will there be trading mechanics? Will you be able to swap out cards with your friends? I don't see why they wouldn't allow that. But I think that this is going to be a whole new secondary market. But I think this is a great way for Pokemon to both pivot and look towards the future, but also to stop, people potentially from scalping or from making products unavailable or from buying all the products, hoarding all the products. I think it's great that they have that. And then, for people who just don't want to buy all the vintage stuff to, get that feeling of nostalgia again. I mean, it's going to open up such a massive window for all kinds of collectors, both, rookie and casual to hardcore and very serious collectors and players. I think that it's going to just open up the door for everybody. And that person that, wants to open up base set packs, but is not going to open, like we're going to open a base set heavy pack on this channel at 5,000 subscribers. That's a huge privilege and a luxury, right? It's a crazy thing. I'm going to open up a pack worth $500 to see some old vintage cards that I never saw when I was a kid, but could have had when I was a kid. That's something that Pokemon Pocket is going to allow collectors and players to do, and do it at a cost that's way more affordable. I don't know what the additional packs are going to cost, but I imagine because it's all digital, it'll be much more affordable for everybody. And then I also wonder, with these free packs that are thrown in, are they packs that are just based on the Pocket gameplay? Like, how many cards are going to be included in Pocket? Are they going to slowly have, like, basically expansions where they add more cards from vintage sets? Like, are the gold stars going to be in Pocket at some point? Are crystals going to be in Pocket? Are first edition Pokemon cards going to be in Pocket at some point? I mean, like, where is this going in terms of, the old school collector that values like high end cards? Like, I don't think that really has anything to do with Pocket. But I am interested to see what all they bring to the table with Pocket for, long-term collectors. Is this the future of collecting and playing? Is this not just about playing, but this is actually the future of collecting too, that everything is going digital? And I think, we're in 2024 now. In 2050, I don't see why that wouldn't be the case, right? They're just getting a head start on it. So in another 20 years, Pocket could be absolutely massively successful, and people could have huge online digital portfolios of their Pocket collections. People selling, Pocket profile for sale, $10,000. I mean, like, it's just a lot of things going through my mind with this, and how I think it's going to be perceived by the average player. And because I am a long-time collector, well, I shouldn't say long time, only the past couple years, but I consider myself a long-time collector. This is a little bit worrisome to me. I'm like, okay, I have all this physical stuff. It takes up a lot of space, takes up a lot of room, but nothing beats the physical stuff, right? I feel like I'm a boomer saying that, but if someone said this in our Discord, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. We were talking about the eBay vault and how kind of it's turning our physical assets into digital assets onto eBay. You are selling that physical card to somebody else. They can take it out, or it can stay in the vault. And these cards kind of just become digital cards staying in the vault that are, trackers of value, So that'll be really interesting to me. Can Pocket pull off something similar? How will that change the secondary market, the seller's market? How will it change the whole environment of Pokemon as a whole? So I'm really excited for that. I want to hear what you guys think about it. And I think that's pretty much all I've got on it. I'm really excited for it. I didn't know if it was already open for download. So I guess it's not right now, but that'll come out sometime in 2024. I'm definitely going to download it and use it. I think it's going to be huge for content creation too. I think a lot of content creators and YouTubers, influencers, whatever you want to call it. I think that it's going to be an easy way to make some fun, good content. And that's something that I'm particularly excited for, because I've never done like screen shares or screen capture, or like recording gameplay of any kind. That's something that could be a new avenue for content creators and people that are making videos, and trying to entertain, but also having fun with it. I don't know if you guys follow, I guess, Moist Critical, but he's one of my favorite content creators. And I watched this interview with him, and he was talking about like what makes him want to do YouTube, and escaping from looking at it like it's a job and something that you have to do into something that's fun, that you just genuinely enjoy. And that's what YouTube has been for me. But there are definitely times where I look at it as a job, and that's not a good place. That's not a place that I want to be in. I want to always continue to have fun with it and switch it up and do new topics and try a new series. And one of the things I am particularly excited about is Pocket, because I think Pocket might allow me to have some fun on the channel and goof around and play the simplified gameplay and maybe make some content on that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll ever stop my ways of ranting and rambling on this channel. But I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys think about Pokemon Pocket. Definitely want to start a discussion here in the comments. Hear what you guys think. Are you guys going to be downloading it? Are you excited for it? What's the most exciting thing? What's the thing you're looking forward to the most? And what's the thing that you fear the most? Maybe as a collector or an online seller, do you think that this is going to affect business? Do you think that it's going to phase out traditional sellers of the physical cards? And then, you know, how do you think this is going to change the tournament play? Are more people going to just ditch building decks because it is expensive and it adds up quick, to, you know, the alternative of doing Pokemon Pocket, where every kid, you know, while they're in school, riding the bus, out with friends, like this could be like the next big thing. Like I remember when I was younger, a teenager, I would play Xbox Live with all my friends. And obviously I can still do that, even though we don't really have time to play together anymore. But I see Pokemon Pocket as potentially being that next big thing. Yes, you could do it with the Pokemon games on Switch. Yes, you could play on there, but Pokemon Pocket, everybody has a phone, right? That's where I think they've really hit the nail on the head with this one. Pokemon Pocket is going to be based off an app through your phone. Everybody's going to be able to get it. It's going to be like all the people that are out there playing Candy Crush and just playing like random games on their phone. They're making Pokemon super casual and super easy to get into. There's not going to be like any barrier to entry to play Pocket. So I think it's going to be huge. They also might, with this Pokemon Pocket, drop some bloopers on cards that we haven't seen yet that are in incoming sets. So it'll be interesting. Like there's so many variables with Pocket. I'm really excited to see some of this immersive artwork. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Trying to keep it short today. Peace.